So are you always struggling when it comes to landing interviews? Are you always making applications with no appropriate feedback, or you get a lot of regret emails? Well, today we're going to tackle on 5 job hunting mistakes that a lot of candidates make in Kenya. So let's go straight to it. The first one being sending generic CVs. Now, with our background, we receive so many applications, and a lot of people usually use the same CVs for different job applications. So you find a specific advert already specified everything in terms of skills, roles, educational backgrounds, the certifications, but then the people sending their CVs, they usually just send generic information, whereby people work with the assumptions of, oh, they'll say I'm an accountant, they'll say I'm a project manager, and then they'll select me. But it doesn't work that way. Because normally when it comes to sending an application, you always have to counter check. What is the advert looking for? Do I have 90% of what the advert is looking for? Not even 50%. So this means the entire advert, all the way from the beginning, if it's skills that they're looking for, ensure that they're in line with what you've done and what they're looking for. Because a lot of people make the mistake of including skills that are not even relevant in the advert, including roles that are also not relevant in the advert. So sending generic CVs, that's usually mistake number 1. Number 2, ignoring job requirements. So this is also very common with a lot of candidates, because many candidates are usually, whenever they see an advert, they're like, there is no way I'll not be called in for this interview, without putting in mind what exactly that advert is looking into. So let's say, case in point, the advert has indicated we're looking for someone with 5 years plus of experience. Then this person has no years of experience. This is someone who just went straight from university. Then they apply that role. Chances are they'll not get the feedback. Then you find someone starts complaining, oh, I'm making applications, I'm not getting the appropriate feedback, yet they didn't fully look into the job requirements. So it's usually prudent to look into that, because if they've indicated 5 years, chances are they're looking for someone with 5 years 5 years experience in line with that role. Because if they're looking for someone entry level, they'll always indicate there, you must have at least have a bachelor's degree, you must be a fast learner. No requirements usually, especially for entry level. They'll not indicate, oh, you must have experience. They'll just indicate that you must at least have a bachelor's degree in this and that. They even indicate some of the skills also they'll be looking into. So following job requirements is usually a key necessity. Or sometimes they've indicated, yes, we're looking for someone with 5 years of experience. Then let's say this is someone who has over 10 years of experience, and then they end up applying. Now for this person, they also want to get feedback, because the specific requirements was 5 years of experience. Now when they indicate that and you have like over 10 years of experience, they wouldn't expect you to apply for such a role, because chances are the salary that they might be offering would be lower, and it will not meet the expectations of this person who has over 10 years of experience. Hence, that makes them overqualified. So following job requirements is usually a key necessity. That's why there's always the advert. Advert CV, advert CV. So that was mistake number 2. Mistake number 3, lack of having a strong online presence. Now, when it comes to having a strong online presence, here we look at LinkedIn. So a lot of people usually don't find the necessity of having a LinkedIn profile. So with the various professionals I've even engaged with, they usually like, they already have my CV. Why should I now come up with a LinkedIn? It's like another CV. No. It's usually tailored. It's usually structured in a different way. Because normally with the LinkedIn, it's structured like an online resume, but focusing on the relevant keywords. Keywords are also on the LinkedIn. So if your LinkedIn possesses the wrong keywords, they will not contact you. And when they're going through LinkedIn, it's because of headhunting. So you find they just get to interest you in a role via your inbox, but when they're interesting you, they'll still ask you to also send your CV. So having a strong online presence goes a long way, because here you also get to grow your networks, because you get to even connect with HR managers, other recruiters, and the moment you connect with them, the moment you post information relevant to your profession, it also increases your network. So people now will start being curious. Okay, so and so is always liking our posts, is always commenting, they're always proactive on LinkedIn. So why not headhunt this person? But again, how well that LinkedIn is structured. So having a strong online presence will always go a long way. And there are other instances, they'll even post an advert where they include a link of your LinkedIn profile. So the moment they indicate that, they also want to see, has this person updated their LinkedIn or not? So if you've not, you'll just see so-and-so from someone from a recruitment industry viewed your profile. So maybe it was even your dream company, but you never even got to update the LinkedIn. So that's mistake number 3, not having a strong online presence. Mistake number 4, not having ATS compliant CVs. Now, this is also another area where a lot of candidates miss out on great opportunities, because people are like, there is no way a system will just go through CVs and then selects candidates. How is that possible? It is very possible, because now with the changing times, everything is going digital. And you see, whenever they are when they're using that software, it isn't their process. Because you can imagine going over like 5,000 applications and you have a deadline. So when they use that software, it does the work on their behalf and it isn't the process. So you find it breaks down all the way from 5,000 to even around 100 to 20 to 50. It isn't the process. But there is a criteria that recruiters are usually looking into when they're using this software. They look into formatting as well as the usage of keywords. So when it comes to formatting, I'm not talking about the beautifully done CVs, the ones with pictures, the ones with tables. No. Even graphics are not allowed here. Simply plain text. Because when you have a distorted format, it deters that system from scanning through. And the goal here is to get to the keywords. So having an appropriate formatting will also allow you to beat the ATS. The other bit is on the keywords. Keyword usage is also essential. So by keywords here, I mean keywords that are in that advert also have to be reflected in your CV. So what does this mean? It means 90% of the contents of your CV have to mirror the keywords that are in that advert. Because here the goal is to give these recruiters no room for disqualifying you. That is usually the goal. So that's why every time a person needs to make an application, you have to make sure it's ATS compliant, because this is the current norm. This is what they're looking into. Don't work with the assumption of, no, they'll not look such and such an organization. There's no way they'll have that software. No. It's always good to be prepared so that you don't find a situation where you've applied for a UN job and then you just sent your CV without even looking at what UN looks into, because with UN, they use that software. So if you're someone who's always been targeting UN jobs, take a look back. What kind of formatting are you using? What kind of keywords are you using? So that was mistake number 4. Mistake number 5 is poor networking. So poor networking here, you find people are, so let's give a good example is of the LinkedIn. So someone is on LinkedIn, they're always active, but then when you look at the connections, it's like this person is connecting with other job seekers. So that's usually the wrong approach, because on LinkedIn, the goal is to connect with recruiters, not with other job seekers. Because the moment you connect with job seekers, others will even start contacting you also looking for jobs. Maybe they see even your organization maybe is hiring for certain personnel. You find someone inboxing you telling you, I can see your organization is hiring for such a position. Would you guys consider my CV? Yet that was not what your brand is all about. So having the right networks also helps a lot. Because if you connect with a CEO from such and such a company, and then you're always consistent when it comes to commenting on posts, that creates an impression about the kind of person you are. So having the right networks also plays a huge part when it comes to getting also the right interviews. And also again, you see on LinkedIn, there's usually that section of recommendation. So this is where the networking bit is coming in again. So on LinkedIn, there's usually a section whereby you can inform someone to recommend you on a specific skill set. So if I'm a recruiter and I see a certain CEO recommended you for this skill set, that already has made an impression about you. And as a result, I'll now reach out. I get to know more about what you've done profession-wise. So having the right kind of networks also plays a huge part. So at corporate staffing, we usually help a lot of candidates, because we realize a lot of people struggle when it comes to landing interviews, because every time people are calling, they're like, I'm making applications, I'm not getting feedback, or someone is even complaining like, I'm always applying for jobs on your platform, but I never got feedback. So when you have a discussion with them, we go to the root cause, and the root cause is always the CV, because there's no way you can go to the interview without having a well-structured CV. It's all about using a convincing tone, having a strong online presence, and that will increase your chances. So you can reach out, and me together with my team will be able to offer expert advice, as well as increasing your chances to a job interview.